What's up, guys? Welcome to the Growth Minded Contractor Show. I'm your host, Ryan Groth, and I'm hanging out with Bill Burkhart Jr. with Kanga Roof, Four Seasons Kangaroo Roof out of the Michigan area. Man, it's exciting to have somebody who I've had the privilege of working with a few years ago and to see how they're doing. We've been a small part of, I think, their awesome success. And so Bill's a super sharp guy, great operator, and somebody who I think will add some value to you guys today and helping you guys grow your business and doing the right things and maybe avoiding some mistakes that they've made and embracing the right things that will help you grow your business. Because after all, this is a show for growth-minded contractors who want to grow. So, Bill, welcome to my show, man. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Ryan, pleasure, man. Happy to be here. Hop into it in shockingly sunny Metro Detroit today after about a week of 30 degrees and cold and gray. Lots of gray.
Wow, it's got to feel good. I mean, we're in November here, and you get some sunshine. That's awesome.
Hey, any chance we get to get a little vitamin D up here, we take it this time of year.
Yeah, for sure. Good old Midwest work ethic over there in Detroit. A lot of my friends out of Detroit are just gritty grinders. They just get after it. That's what you guys are about. It's what you're known for.
I was raised with a lunch pail mentality, and then I thought I'd be an offensive lineman, and I always joke, that's where so much of it comes from. You just put your head down and you just keep moving forward. And that's how we do it here. It's roofing, man. It's not like some glamorous, like traditionally fun gig. We're not Google with pinball machines and 3-hour lunches, but we figure out how to have fun every day.
Yeah, you do. So did you actually think you were going to be an offensive lineman? Was that a dream of yours, a football guy?
Probably at some point when I was probably in like 9th or 10th grade, and then didn't quite hit that like 6'3", 6'4" level in height. And thankfully I had a really good high school coach is like, dude, you can want it all you want, but there are some physical limitations to this. You can go do it if you want, but you're going to be a glorified punching bag and don't know if that's really what you want to do. So I always say I had the opportunity to play college ball. And
did you? Nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Where'd you play?
Yeah. No, I had the opportunity. And then my coach was the one who goes, you're getting money for your academics and everything else. He goes, you were good enough? I said, yeah, I know I was good enough. He goes, go take the money and don't beat your body to hell. And forever grateful for him.
Yeah, that's awesome. But still a football guy, though. You love the Lions. You guys.
Oh, my God. Dan Campbell. I mean, there may be a better coach, but is there a coach you wouldn't want to play for more than Dan Campbell? The guy's just an animal.
Yeah, he's awesome. Oh, man. Some of his speeches that I caught on the.
Hard Knocks. Man, I get goosebumps still when I listen to it.
I love it. Hey, being a baseball guy, the Tigers, you guys got a lot to be excited about. Really good.
Well,
really good.
Depends if we pay Scoobal or not, but we'll let the higher ups figure that whole deal out. But yeah, it's been a good run right now for Detroit sports.
For sure, it has been. Yeah, you got a Ford Raptor TRX, whatever the super ooper duper model is with Scoobal. You guys got to figure out if you want to keep him or not. Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
I just keep telling all my buddies, just keep buying those hot and readies from Little Caesars so they can afford to pay him.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
What it boils down to.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about your journey. You're a second generation, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. My dad was the founder.
Yeah. Let's hear it. Talk about the backstory a bit for us.
Yeah, for sure. My dad was the founder. He started the company back in 2007, which we all know was like a great time to go into business, right?
Great time.
But he started it because from the time he was probably about 25, he kind of stumbled his way into roofing like so many people, right? Nobody like grows up aspiring for the most part to be a roofer. And he started in estimating. He worked on the supplier side, quickly realized, that wasn't for him. I went back into the estimating side. I worked for a couple folks, and he always had this kind of nagging issue with it because there were so many people who just, whether it was the way they treated the client, whether the way they treated their team, just didn't do things right, really at a kind of fundamentally ethical level. And at one point he finally just said, screw it. If all these yahoos can do this and make money doing it, what he would consider the not right way, if I just do it the right way and treat people the right way, man, I gotta believe I can succeed. And that was the whole genesis. Just treat people the right way and do the right thing was how we started. I'm the oldest of 3 boys. My brother Matt's but my business partner. And he kind of runs the field side. I run the more of the front office, the sales, marketing, call center, all that fun stuff. We will both be happy to tell you growing up, we wanted nothing to do with roofing because when you're the son of a roofer, My dad had a really core belief. He's like, I got 3 boys. They're going to learn what the heck hard work is. They're going to learn a skill so they can always keep a roof over their heads. No pun intended there. And his joke was, if they're smart, they're going to figure out how the heck not to have to do roofing. To which now we look at him and go, how'd that last part work out? 2 out of your 3 sons work with you every day. So, but it's been fun. It's been a great journey. And, my joke, which is not entirely true, when I first came back, I would tell folks, I have no passion for roofing. That's not why I'm here. I'm here because I like building businesses and I like caring for people in that developmental process. That's not true. I am passionate about what we do and the services we deliver, because as I've gotten older, you really start to realize, man, when we do a good job, we're not just helping the client, we're truly helping the community, the folks that we employ here, their families. Like, it has a very real impact, and it's pretty cool to drive around Metro Detroit and go, yep, we put that roof on. We helped those families. We did that roof. That was the pro bono. We helped that guy because he had no money. Like, it is an extremely rewarding profession if you do things the right way. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, there's a lot of liability, but you're really helping people and you're actually making an impact, which I can't say TikTok influencers are really making an impact. Like, I can feel good about what we charge and how we help people and work my tail off, but lay my head down at night and feel really good about it.
That's awesome, man. That's living the dream though, right? For like
Yeah.
many of us. I mean, many people make a lot of money, but they don't do it in a way that's ethical and morally aligned with who they really are and who they want to be. And, to be able to have what you're having it's a beautiful thing. It's good, but I love what you said. A lot of liability. It's expensive. Is it hard? Yes. All those things are very true.
Don't get me wrong. You catch me on the right day, I might be questioning some of my life decisions, but we got a great team, and I have some of my childhood friends now that never dreamed they'd be in roofing, but one of them is our top commercial salesman, and he'll tell you flat out it was the best decision he ever made. His wife would say that because he actually gets to be home and be a dad, and
Come
it's
on.
awesome.
That's the dream. I mean, that's it too. Like, then you pull
Yeah.
in your best friend, the super talented guy who had such and such experience. You bring him into your world, and like now he's having success. He's with his family. He's taking care of his home, and I mean, that's providing for his family. That's amazing, right? That it sounds simple, right? But those are the things that you don't take for granted. I mean, that's what we're building here is success for people and families and communities, and doing it with a lot of peace, knowing you're taking care of people and doing things the right way. So I applaud you for that. Let's talk about the business more, because I think that was
Yeah.
really beautiful. The culture, the inside is great. Let's talk about kind of like your dad, and then you took over, and then what did you guys start to do? And then, if you don't mind, I mean, I don't know, timeline based numbers are helpful if you want to share
Yeah.
some year over year stuff. I think that helps a lot. And then I do have general questions around your model and how you guys go to market. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, my dad founded the company in 2007 when we started strictly commercial, right? And
Mm.
low margin, large dollar amount bid work.
Got it.
And anyone who's lived that dream knows it's not a dream, it's a nightmare. I think it was about 12 years ago now. He stumbled upon a group called CertainPath, and it's just a professional development group for contractors. But what it really did for him was teach him how to run a business and how to price yourself right and not operate on a markup, but actually operate on a margin. Learn what the heck your overhead is, because you can think you're making money and you're actually just working your way out of business, right?
Yeah.
So he did that. My brother Matt wanted to be, or thought he wanted to be, a coach and teacher. He went to Michigan State, got his degree, did his student teaching, and really quickly figured out, I don't know if I like kids that much to be around them all day. And he came back, but and said, hey, I think I want to take this over one day. And my dad said, sure, you're back to grunt labor. And he had to work his way up, foreman, superintendent. Obviously he oversees the operations now. I came back in about 2018. At that time, we were hovering right around like the $4 million mark. We had at that point rebranded. We were Kanga Roof at that point. When we started, it was just Four Seasons Roofing and Sheet Metal. We were starting to do both commercial and residential, which seemed like a really cool idea until you realize you're really running 2 concurrent businesses at the same time. And it presents a lot of obstacles to overcome. I like to say opportunities, not problems. They're just opportunities. We got to figure them out. And we started down that journey, right? As we went, we eventually implemented EOS, which I know a lot of contractors should be familiar with that. That was probably the turning point, I want to say, as an organization, because it started to really bring some clarity to how to structure this, how to organize it, how to budget, how to set goals, how to get clear lines of responsibility for who's doing what, who's accountable for what. So you could get to, we'd always deal with like, I know a lot of contractors can feel this. All you're doing is putting out fires, but you're never getting to the root cause. Well, it gave us the structure to start to do that. That's where, our relationship came from, because we're like, what is going on with the commercial sales side? Like, it was just this, right? It was a constant roller coaster, and we couldn't figure out how to really make that a systemic thing. And that's, where your team did a wonderful job helping us build out and really define what that sales process was going to look like for the commercial. We knew we wanted it to mirror the residential one because it was proven and it was working. So how do we take what we were doing and who we are, use what your team did? And I mean, you jump forward to now. Last year we did just under 15 million in revenue. This year we're going to do, just depending, up here we always got to worry about when the snowfall hits, right? So depending on how and when snow hits, we're going to finish up somewhere between 18 and a half million, but year over year growth on the top line. More importantly, continued year over year growth on the bottom line, that
Yeah.
net profit. And, we're really hard on ourselves. There's a lot of guys, I always love when I hear somebody, I cleared a 26% net profit. And I'm always like, yeah, I'd like to crack open those books and do a little auditing to see how you're categorizing everything. Not paying yourself. Like, we are hard, man. We pay ourselves a salary. There's no distributions or dividends unless we hit certain net profit and cash flow numbers and ratios. But we do that because we got a responsibility to. I mean, we got 75 team members who work for us, not subcontractors, but actual team members. I don't even know what the number is if you count the subs. And you think about it, you got 75 people who are counting on you for that paycheck every week. So we take that seriously, but they know we take it seriously. And, this past year we implemented great game of business, right? Profit sharing model now for those guys too. So every month the whole company knows, hey, what was the net profit? What was the revenue? How'd we do? And they're striving for it because it's black and white. They know they got a piece of the pie now. They have a vested interest in it. And man, good things are happening because of that.
Amazing. That's awesome. That is amazing. I love hearing the success stories and just it sounds like you guys have found key partners to help you at critical junctions of solving
Yep.
different parts of the business. And yeah, I'm very familiar with EOS. So CertainPath is more of industry specific. I'm curious if you were to describe kind of these groups, like us included, in like a few sentences, what would you say they're really good at? Because I'm sure people are listening, like, "Ooh, I'd like to know more about those guys." What would you say, kind of in each of them, what they helped you do, and describing kind of one at a time?
Yeah. EOS is probably the easiest one to start with because what EOS provided for us was the structure, right? In so many partnerships out there, they want to fix one thing. The problem is you never know what's the one thing you need to fix. And
Right.
with EOS, it brought great clarity for us on how we're structured and
Hmm.
how to identify what those root causes are. So I
Yeah.
think that's probably the big strength of that. When we went over to CertainPath, I'm like, I love CertainPath. They're part of our family, man. They give you all these great tools, but what we always felt it was missing was like that EOS component. Great, great. I now know how to do a great performance plan. But how and when and like that EOS framework kind of fit into
Got
that,
it.
right? And then like with your group, same thing. Like, okay, we knew how to price ourselves at that point. We knew how to structure it, but we didn't know how to systemically build, whether you want to say culture or the system of year over year scalable commercial sales growth. And where like your team was great because you guys heard us loud and clear was we want to build it through service first,
Yeah.
right? We want to take care of the roof. We actually genuinely want to maximize the life of the roof. We want to get them into the maintenance agreements. And that's where like the maintenance agreements alone, man, your team helped us a ton in figuring out how to approach that, how to set the table for it. I think it was about 2 years ago, I read a book called Who, Not How.
Mm.
And that was kind of like the light bulb moment for me in a lot of ways to go, man, I don't have to be the guy with every friggin' answer,
Yeah.
but I got to find, I'm responsible. And just like my business partners are, like, we're responsible for finding whether it's a group or an individual, who's the who that can help us. And if they have a proven process, we don't have to be smarter than the proven process. Like we used to do, we were really guilty of that. Hey, here's this proven process. Well, let's just massage it and tweak it a little bit to fit us so
Right.
we're comfortable. Like we're done with that. That's the proving process. That's what we're doing.
So good.
And, the toughest part about that entire journey has been, I think, team. And what I mean by that is you always heard this, like when we started our EOS journey, we heard, hey, the team members that are with you now, and if we're going to help you to get to where you're going to be a year from now with where you want to go, you're going to love them. And there's probably going to be team members you absolutely love that are not going to be the right people as your company grows. And I don't like the word change, but evolves. Right. We know we want to grow to be a $30 million company, and who we're going to need to do that and what this team looks like. There's going to be turnover, and there is going to be change on the team, because the who's we're going to need to facilitate that may not be the same who's we have right now. And they just might not be comfortable with some of those things that we're going to have to do. So that was I think for me, I'm like the team culture guy. I love everybody. Like, that's been the tough part for me, to just go, man, they were great for us for 5 years. Unfortunately, we're not great for them anymore. I don't even like to say they're not great for us. We just might not be great for them anymore. And for any business owner, if you're like me, like we use Culture Index, if you're that people person, get somebody to partner with you, get your COO, get whomever who can really confront you and go, hey, it's time. This has to happen. And I can tell you, just about every time we've done that and had that difficult conversation, when we run into that person a year from now, they're actually way better off than sticking around in just this constant turmoil and frustration, because it just was no longer the right fit. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's good. Really good. Really helpful. Love the way you put that. And that book is a great recommend. Is it Dan Campbell's book? Yeah.
I wish anything Dan Campbell writes, I'd read. It's Dan Sullivan. Dan Sullivan. Ironically, a Dan.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably Dan Campbell probably told Dan Sullivan what to write. That's probably what it was.
That could be. They didn't say grit enough in it, though. That's the only clue I got. But no, I recommend that book to everybody. Absolutely everybody, because it was really one of those seminal books that changed my perspective.
That's so good. So you guys led with service, both on residential and commercial too. It sounds like service repair first, if you can. And that's like your sales strategy.
100%. It's, there's not another roofer, or at least not, I mean, shoot, we got close to 1,000 roofers here in Metro Detroit, depending on what survey you read. We're the only roofer in Metro Detroit who has a service program for residential homes. Even on the commercial side, I mean, there's probably 15 to 20. Most of them are the union shops using, like, when I look at their inspection reports from their maintenance programs, like when we're going out meeting with clients, like, it is so bare minimum. Like, you can tell somebody's just going out there, clicking the dots, dropping it, like the bare minimum. And we tell our team, like, our inspectors know, man, if our service team goes out after your inspection and they're still finding things, we got a problem. Like, let's just get it all on the table. But we don't sit there when we come back to the business owner and go, all right, you got $200,000 in service and repair here. We really try and take that approach of, we want to be your partner. Let's get you in the maintenance program, and let's set a 5-year plan. We use the term asset management. I think we stole that from you guys. We know you don't have it in the budget. What's the stuff we got to take care of in the next 12 months that, if you don't take care of, is going to cost you $100,000 unexpectedly the next year? Yeah. And then start to really plan that the right way. And where we've seen really great growth with that has been with what I'm going to call long-term institutions. So like school districts, churches, church groups, there's a lot of independent church groups where they really do have a long time horizon going, yep, we're not going anywhere. We've owned these buildings for 80 years. We're going to own them for another 80 years. And they want that consultant, because their facilities guy has been there for 8 years, but there's going to be a new guy in 4 years. That pastor, that church board who's been in that same congregation for 50 years, they're still going to be there. So they value that type of true partnership.
Love that.
And we just some folks are like, well, just drive by and email it to me. Cool. Hard pass. No big deal. No big deal. We're just not right for you. Believe me. Just call the 999 other roofers here in Metro Detroit. You will find somebody who will drive by, leave you a quote, and go up there with a bucket of tar, and then call us in 2 years when that didn't work.
Wow. Love that. So strong. Would love to hear some of your partners. You mentioned some of these coaching groups. Can you share with me some of your partners, whether it be, other service providers, technology companies, things that groups that you would say, man, these guys or girls did a great job. They were awesome. And I would highly recommend them.
Yeah. The first one that comes, I mean, obviously CertainPath, EOS, within EOS, there's anyone who's struggling with that or thinking about it, you can literally reach out to EOS. They have like their own like group, organizational group at the highest level, but they have implementers, to help you start that process. We, about 2 years ago, went through about a 12-month process with what's called a fractional integrator. Rick was awesome. And it's a really special role for who should be sitting in that seat, and helped us really define that. The one that I can't sing their praises enough is Hive House. Hive House helps us with our website and a lot of our digital materials that we're using. They really listened to us when I said, hey, we're a roofing contractor. We believe in inbound marketing, but the ultimate metric is I don't care how many people visit my website. I care about how many form submissions and leads come out of my website. And they're one of the few people I've ever dealt with who really like listened and went, okay, that's the metric. That's how we're graded. And they helped me with the website, figuring that out. How do we make it one click easier? How do we adjust the color scheme to bring attention to the form fill and submission? We got a newer partner, Project Map It. It's an electronic one, but
I love those guys.
I literally signed up, and within less than a week, it was up live in my website. They connected to Certainteed and SRS, and like everything was just there. It was done. If you don't have it, do it. On the PPC and SEO side, we've had a long history with a group called Redesign. We started with them just on the SEO side. They were big partners with Salesforce. Salesforce was their client in developing Salesforce's SEO. Got nothing but great things to say about them. And if you use them, just ask for my gal Heather, because Heather's the absolute best. I'm sure there's more, but the one that I think every contractor should never underestimate is with your suppliers. I have peers who own and run roofing companies, and they kind of like beat the hell out of their suppliers. We do not take that approach. Don't get me wrong. We're tough on them when it comes to the pricing. We don't believe in we don't just buy from SRS. There is some level of you got to keep them all honest, but man, when it's 5 o'clock and they delivered the wrong, something happened, and you got to get that material there. It could be the difference between you hitting your number for the month or not, because we don't view it as an adversarial relationship. Say that 3 times fast, but it's true partnership. They come to our Christmas party. They come to we do a team cookout in the summer. We bring those folks in because they're part of us. We can't do what we need to do without them. Our subs, right? Our subcontractor, and we don't use a ton of subs. Most of it's in-house, but they're just an extension of us. When they're out on site, they know they can only be wearing orange Kanga. There's none of this ridge top exterior hat. No, that don't fly. You're an extension of us, but that really means we have to treat them like an extension of us. We don't treat them like a sub. We treat them like a team member. So I think, and I'm sure there's more that I'm overlooking, but
it's good.
Those are the big ones right now.
Love that. That's so good. Super helpful. I love story. I love best practice. I love recommending partners. What would you say as we kind of close things up to the contractor who may want to avoid some mistakes that have been made that you could help them avoid? You've shared a lot of wisdom already, by the way. So I think there's a lot to take. What are some challenges or some things that you could help them avoid, some big mistakes, and then the changes in the landscape of the industry and how you're viewing those things? So go for it as we wrap up those last 2 questions.
Absolutely. And I'm going to give one other shout out, because I did a horrible job for getting them. G4 Marketing. They help us with our referral.
Awesome.
Man, you want repeat business, call those guys. But as far as the biggest thing, if I could go back and do things over, I think my dad would tell you the same thing. When you're given a proven process that you truly, it's a true proven process. Don't overthink it. Give into it. Do it. Knowing that there's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be some collateral damage. When you hit those speed bumps, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means you got to continue to train on the fundamentals of it to get through those hurdles. And if you do that, good things will happen, as long as you're looking at the horizon and not looking at the next step in front of you. That's probably the best advice I could give to anyone in any type of endeavor. Find the proven process. Don't overthink it. Trust it, and just do it. On the PE AI front, man, be flexible is probably the best advice I can give to anyone. We're fortunate between the ownership here. We have no interest in PE. Big picture, 30,000 foot view looking on the horizon. We've had discussions about maybe ESOP, things like that, but we're not in it to just build this and sell it and cash out. It goes back to our first core values. We care. I don't see how I could ever sell to private equity. I've seen what they do to almost every single company. Like I've never seen it successful that it's not at the cost of the employees or the team members. So it doesn't interest us. And I think I could be wrong. I think what's going on in the economy, things are a little tighter. I think we're going to see a reckoning, let's put it that way, with what's been happening, not just in roofing, HVAC, any of that stuff. The AI world, though, man, be flexible and be a voracious learner because it's going to change. I mean, my biggest fear is we're going to get to a point I don't see my technicians ever going away. I don't see my inspectors necessarily going away because at some point you got to crawl under the HVAC unit and find where the seams popped. But, hey, is our sales process going to look the same in 5, 10 years with these AI agents? And is the presentation done by an AI agent following my sales script? It's shockingly possible. I hope it doesn't go that way because I like humans and I still think there's an empathy piece that you can't get away from. But I tell everyone, man, everything I do, I don't think there's a day right now where I'm not reading an article, reading a blog, listening to a book that is not incorporating what is going on with AI. Even just on the marketing front, man, Google AdWords used to work. It doesn't really work the way it did even 6, 8 months ago. That's tied to AI. So just continue to invest and continue to learn because but anyone who tells you, hey, this is what's going to happen. I just had a vendor call me about this sales ape or something. I'm like, you can't tell me this is what it's going to be because the guys developing the darn AI don't know what it's going to be and when it's going to be whatever it's going to be. So I just believe continue to learn and invest and be flexible because it is going to change whether you want it to or not. And we just got to roll with it.
Yeah, so good. Well, thanks for your time, Bill. It's been a great conversation, and I hope our audience finds all of it super insightful. I know you're active on LinkedIn, so find Bill Burkhart Jr. And yeah, man, keep up the good work, and thanks for your time. It was a pleasure.
Hey, right. My pleasure. I appreciate you having me and anything we can ever do to help anyone. That's what we're here for. That's why we hop to it.
Boom. See you guys. Thank you.